Why do most employees act like they don't care about your business? Because they literally don't know how their daily work affects your bottom line. 70% of employees are mentally checked out at work. They're flying blind. But what if you taught them the same language that's been used to run businesses for over 500 years? What if they could read income statements and balance sheets just like you? Suddenly, that marketing assistant understands how their campaigns affect cash flow. That sales rep sees how their deals impact profit margins. Today, I'll show you how financial literacy turns employees into strategic partners who drive real results. Most business owners focus on calculating every penny of their payroll expenses, but they completely miss the real cost, draining their resources. I am Kane. I run several businesses and own real estate throughout Ontario. Watch my bio video to learn about my full story. Please read the description below to access the references used for this video. Without further ado, let's begin. That drain comes from the 70% of employees who are mentally checked out at work. They show up, do the minimum, and go home. This disengagement costs businesses millions in lost productivity, wasted resources, and missed opportunities. Think about how you treat a rental car versus your own vehicle. When you rent a car, you fill it with the cheapest gas available. You might ignore the low tire pressure warning. You return it on empty without a second thought. But your own car gets premium treatment. You use quality fuel, check the oil regularly, and keep it clean. The difference comes down to ownership. When you own something, you protect your investment. Your employees may treat your business like a rental car. They waste electricity because they don't connect utility costs to profit margins. They order expensive lunches for client meetings without considering whether those clients will actually buy anything. These small decisions add up to massive losses over time. The problem runs deeper than careless spending. Most employees have no idea if your company is profitable, struggling, or about to go under. They don't know if last month's revenue hit targets or fell short. They can't tell you what your gross margins look like or how much cash sits in the bank. They work in complete darkness about the financial health of the place that pays their salary. This creates a dangerous mentality shift. Instead of asking, how can we build something sustainable together? Employees start wondering, will I have a job tomorrow? They focus on protecting themselves rather than growing the business. They may hoard information instead of sharing it. They avoid taking risks that could benefit the company because they don't understand the upside potential. Traditional management keeps employees in this dark state on purpose. Leaders believe financial information should stay confidential. They think employees can't handle complex business data. They worry that sharing profit numbers will lead to demands for higher wages. So they create elaborate systems to hide revenue figures, expense reports, and cash flow statements from the people who actually do the work. But this secrecy backfires in expensive ways. When your sales team doesn't understand profit margins, they chase low-value clients that drain resources. When your marketing department can't see which campaigns generate profitable customers, they waste budget on ineffective strategies. When your operations staff doesn't know cost implications, they make decisions that hurt the bottom line without realizing it. The cycle perpetuates itself. Employees make bad decisions because they lack financial context. Leaders see these poor choices and decide employees can't be trusted with sensitive information, so they share even less data, leading to worse decisions and deeper distrust. Meanwhile, competitors with engaged teams pull ahead in market share and profitability. The solution requires flipping this entire approach. When employees understand your complete financial picture, they naturally start thinking like owners. They see how their daily choices affect company survival. They connect their individual performance to collective success. They hold themselves and their teammates accountable for results that matter. You don't need to give away equity to create this ownership mindset. You just need to teach your team the same financial language that every successful business uses. When employees can read income statements and balance sheets, they make better decisions at every level. They spot opportunities you might miss. They catch problems before they become expensive mistakes. This transparency builds real trust between leadership and employees. Team members feel valued when you share sensitive financial data with them. They reciprocate with loyalty and commitment. They stop wondering if you're hiding bad news and start focusing on building good results. The trust creates better culture and higher retention rates. Financial education transforms the entire conversation in your business. Instead of managing individual tasks, you're developing strategic partners who understand the bigger picture. Instead of explaining why certain decisions matter, you're working with informed team members who already see the connections. But most business owners never teach their employees this critical skill because they don't realize there's already a proven system for doing exactly that. That system is the universal language every successful business has used for over 500 years. Income statements and balance sheets connect every department, every decision, and every dollar that flows through your company. These financial statements serve as the secret language of business and the universal scorecards that reveal what's really happening beneath the surface. Your marketing team launches campaigns without understanding how customer acquisition costs affect cash flow. They celebrate when website traffic goes up, even if those visitors never buy anything. Meanwhile, your finance team sees the marketing spend eating into margins, but can't communicate the impact in terms marketing understands. Your sales department chases large deals with razor-thin profit margins, offering discounts without seeing how those concessions affect overall business health. Operations orders premium materials without knowing if customers will pay enough extra to justify the added costs. These silos exist because employees don't understand the financial statements that tie everything together. The income statement shows whether marketing campaigns generate profitable revenue. The balance sheet reveals whether sales terms create cash flow problems. The cash flow statement demonstrates whether operational decisions improve or hurt the bottom line. Teaching this financial language transforms how employees make daily decisions and empowers better choices at every level. That marketing assistant who learns to read income statements suddenly sees which campaigns generate customers who actually spend money. They start asking different questions about lead quality instead of just lead quantity. They connect their creative work to real business results instead of vanity metrics. Your sales team begins evaluating deals based on profit contribution rather than just revenue size. They push back on discount requests when they understand how price cuts flow through to the bottom line. They negotiate payment terms that support cash flow instead of just closing deals faster. They become partners in building sustainable revenue streams. The operations staff starts making cost-benefit calculations before ordering supplies or equipment. They see how material costs affect gross margins and adjust their purchasing decisions accordingly. They understand the trade-offs between speed and efficiency. They contribute to strategic planning instead of just executing tasks. Financial transparency builds trust throughout your organization. Employees see that leadership makes decisions based on data rather than personal preferences. They understand why certain projects get approved while others get canceled. They stop wondering if you're hiding bad news and start focusing on improving the numbers they can now see and understand. Teams begin holding leadership accountable when they can see where every dollar goes. If you claim marketing needs more budget, your team can evaluate whether past marketing spend generated acceptable returns. If you want to hire more staff, employees can see whether current productivity levels support additional payroll expenses. This accountability works both ways. When employees see their departmental costs clearly, they become more careful about spending. They realize that expensive software subscriptions come directly out of profits that fund their bonuses. They understand that wasteful practices reduce the resources available for salary increases and company growth. The conversation shifts from individual performance reviews to collective business health discussions. The mentality changes from, "Will I have a job tomorrow?" to, "How do we build a sustainable business together?" Instead of debating whether someone deserves a raise, you analyze whether the company generated enough profit to support higher compensation. Instead of arguing about project priorities, teams evaluate initiatives based on their impact on key financial metrics. Financial education creates strategic partners who understand the bigger picture. They spot opportunities you might miss because they see the numbers from different angles. They identify problems before they become expensive mistakes because they monitor the same metrics you watch. They make better decisions because they understand the consequences of their choices on company survival and growth. But knowing the language is just the first step. The real transformation happens when you turn financial education into a game that employees actually want to play. One company proved this approach works by taking their business from near bankruptcy to extraordinary success using a simple 4-part framework. This framework contains 4 essential elements that transform employees into strategic partners. First, everyone had to know and understand the rules. In business, the rules are financial statements and how money flows through the company. Second, teams had to follow the action and keep score through regular measurement. Third, everyone needed stakes in the outcome, not just management. Fourth, they had to define what winning looked like with clear targets everyone could track. Jack Stack and 119 employees proved this approach works when they faced a choice in 1983. They could watch their division SRC at International Harvester die, or they could buy it themselves. They chose to buy. The numbers looked terrible. They needed $8.9 million to purchase the failing business. They only had $100,000 to put down. That meant they carried an 89-to-1 debt-to-equity ratio. Most banks would laugh at those numbers, but they found financing after being turned down 54 times and bought their own jobs. The early days brought harsh realities. Stack and his team discovered that having the best quality metrics meant nothing if the company went bankrupt. They produced excellent products, but excellence doesn't pay bills when cash flow stops. Everyone needed to understand the business fundamentals, or they would all lose everything. Stack realized he had to teach 119 people how to read financial statements, understand cash flow, and make business decisions. The daily measurement system became the foundation. A company can send pulse emails every morning that compared current revenue against targets. Performance sheets stayed accessible to the entire team so everyone could see progress in real time. They can consider to track accounts receivable in detail, breaking down collections into specific categories. These numbers can tell everyone how fast customers paid and how much cash would arrive when. They can develop a dual accounting approach that gave them 2 different views of the business. Cash-based accounting tracked actual money flowing in and out, which showed them their runway and survival timeline. Accrual-based accounting showed true revenue trends and monthly recurring revenue patterns, even when customers hadn't paid yet. Both views provided critical insights for different types of decisions. Quarterly bonuses tied to performance can give everyone real stakes in the outcome without diluting equity. When the company hit targets, everyone shared in the success. When they missed goals, everyone felt the impact. This can create collective accountability that went beyond individual job descriptions. Team members can start caring about departments outside their own because everything affected the bonus pool. The critical number concept focused everyone on what mattered most. Instead of tracking dozens of metrics that created confusion, a company can identify the one number that best predicted success or failure. Sometimes the critical number was cash flow. Other times it was gross margins or customer acquisition costs. Whatever number they choose became the main scoreboard everyone watched. The results speak for themselves. SRC achieved revenue growth rates twice the national average. The company that started with crushing debt ratios became a model for employee ownership and engagement. The difference comes from engaged employees who think like owners and make decisions that drive real growth. The game framework works because it taps into natural human psychology. People want to win, but they need to understand the rules first. They want to contribute, but they need to see how their actions affect the score. They want rewards for success, but those rewards need to connect directly to their efforts. They want clear targets, not vague goals that change based on management moods. Stack proved that you don't need equity partnerships to create ownership thinking. You need education, measurement, accountability, and shared rewards. When employees understand the financial language of business, they become strategic partners who protect and grow your investment. But implementing this system requires one critical leadership discipline that most business owners find difficult to accept. That discipline is transparency. Open book management creates an ownership culture without giving away equity, but it requires complete financial honesty. You can't scale by paying all the profits. The transparency prevents you from making poor spending decisions that you might rationalize in private. This approach transforms employees from expenses into informed partners who actively drive wealth building. It works for most business ready to scale beyond 7 figures because engaged teams make better decisions when they understand the financial impact of their choices. They protect cash flow, improve margins, and spot opportunities that accelerate growth. Start with financial education for your team. Implement dual accounting systems that track both cash flow and accrual-based performance. Build measurement systems that everyone can access. Make the changes gradually to transform your employees into strategic partners who think like owners and build sustainable wealth together. If you've enjoyed this content, be sure to watch my next video on how this investment can earn you cash passively even in your sleep.